Salama in terms of transfers. But let me start by saying that a police officer at the level of a county commander has a very, very high responsibilities and expectations at the same time from the National Police Service. When you see a police commander being transferred, there are possibly reasons of leadership related to it, or that there might be circumstances in the area where they're being transferred that inhibit his work, inability that makes it anymore. Some of these officers I've seen, some of them were on the way towards transfer. Some of the ones you've mentioned in the last 5 years. But some are a part of the reorganization of the security sector at the national level by the Inspector General of Police. I am not worried about complaints related to senior transfers at senior level, because those ones is a function of trying to get the right team leader. And that should not worry you, because the person who comes as a regional or a county security boss is basically to come and provide leadership, to lead the main team. Remember, below that you have sub-county security team, including sub-county commander, police commander, and then now you have the key people. The key person in terms of security of any country, of this country, the center of excellence for security service provision is the police station. So the officer commanding station is a very, very important person, especially for a county like this, that basically we are not discussing about operations to deal with bandits or Al-Shabaab or so forth. Here, because the police station is at the heart of leadership in the police service. And so what Jukwaa la Usalama provisions, conversation has been about is defining a reasonable period of time that allows the security officer to serve, but not too long for them to become familiar with their territory, with that environment, and breed in familiarity. They must face the challenges, maybe 3 to 5 years. Many people are saying 3 years is good enough to be an OCS in one station, then another person can come in. But also from the same conversation is that there are people who are having to serve 10 years in security-prone areas, operation areas, say in Samburu, in Turkana, in some parts of Elgeyo Marakwet, Baringo, you go to Tana River, Northeastern, all those places. And since I've gone through those parts, they are saying that it's unfair. It is even demoralizing to force police officers to serve in a security area, in a security operation area for far too long. So we have to balance the quick transfer and the desire to have service, but also the morale of the officers that are serving in that place. So what are we going to do? What is the policy direction we are being suggested through Jukwaa la Usalama? Number one, when I was in the upper eastern areas and the coast places like Tana River and Lamu, most of the proposals from the police officer were that a police officer should not serve more than 5 years, just as a police officer in an operation area. It has a problem of mental health and so forth. So we are going to define the period of time in principle where a police officer can serve in an operation area. Number two, there is also a provision, a proposal that one should not serve in one police station for too long, even if it's not an operation area. So even if you are moving person from an operation area to another area, it should not be more than 3 years. You saw today here in Nakuru, one of the OCSs proposing that there has been this practice of transferring OCSs, but a police constable and corporal and sergeant in the police station has been serving there for 6-7 years. So any person who comes in is sabotaged by the people who have served for the 5 years. So we want to make sure that that rotation is happening, continuously, not to allow stagnation. And then the other issue related to transfer is that some officers are saying that transfers also must consider family responsibilities. So that if I'm a young officer and I already established myself with my family in Nakuru, And so I should have the stability. If I know in principle that in 3 years I will move, okay, then I will plan in with that in mind, knowing that my children have to go to the right school. But also, if I make a request that my child is in examination year, give me 1 more year, or transfer me in the neighborhood so that I can make sure that they complete their studies. We want to have that humane face in terms of matters of transfer. So I used your question to cover the overall response. So the problem with Nakuru at the moment, based on our conversation today, is that there are so many police officers that have remained in one station for far too long. Number two, there are transfers that are punishment in nature. And therefore, you get a police officer who is drunk, you send them to Taita police station in Kuresoi South. Then you get another one, you send to Taita again, because maybe there is no road access there. You get another one, you send to Taita police station. What happens is that you have 10 police officers, but there are only 2 police officers that are serviceable, that can serve. Instead of sending that police officer to rehabilitation, you send them to punish the residents of a particular area. Many people have said that they don't want that. The last thing that has come up from Jukwa, and I'm summarizing for you all over, is that on matters of transfer, police officers and also Ngao officers, the National Government Administration officers, are really unhappy with transfers that are instigated by political leaders for political reason, because somebody realized that they are not getting political support from the police officer and the Ngao officer. They are unhappy with those kind of transfers, or transfers that are instigated by business people. There is an ACC today who told us that she was serving in a neighboring county, and she heard about a transfer from a brewer. So the brewer told the ACC, don't worry, you have been a problem to me, but you are leaving anytime soon. So it is also incumbent, and that is a feedback we are getting from our officers, that as government officials in high offices, we must not allow ourselves to fall into the temptation of pleasing politicians or pleasing business people and punishing officers. It demoralizes them in terms of service delivery. Thank you. Thank you, Mumbi.